to Unboxing Women, where we expose the music and entertainment industry's dirty little secrets. Here, we uncover the truth of what is hiding behind the gossip, the glitter, and the fame. I'm Micah, and I have a secret identity because I have a second degree in architecture.
I'm Dana, and I do my own horse stunts in my videos.
So cool. On this episode, we are about to unbox DJing. And I was going to say DJing in modern times, but we had a little discussion about it beforehand. And apparently that's a whole different topic because you are a DJ.
Yes, today I'm here not as Dana Rexx, but as DemonQueen, the hardcore DJ. For the people who didn't know, I started DJing at home when I was like 16. And that's why I thought it was funny that you said in modern times, because when I was 16, that was modern times.
Yeah, true.
For me, then it was modern times because it was the 90s, and it was like everything was modern, and we had synthesizers and electronic stuff and internet, and everything was modern. So I thought that was funny.
Internet.
Yes, that is true. Thank you for mentioning that. It was dial-up internet back then still. Oh wait, maybe by the time I was when I was 13, I had dial-up internet. By the time I was 16, 17, we had cable already.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Modern times in our house. You see? Yeah. That's why.
We did not. I mean, I was born later, and we still, when I was I think when I was 10 or something.
Which year is this?
So I was born in 95, so 2005.
Oh, 2000. You still had dial-up internet in 2005?
No. We had like these DSL cards that you put into the
telephone thing.
Into the laptop, and then it kind of had internet, but our internet was shit throughout my entire childhood because we just lived in the countryside, not that far from the city. We had really shit internet. So I'm one to talk.
When I was 16, I started going out because you were only allowed into clubs when you were 16. So I did the good thing, and I waited until my 16th birthday, and I was allowed to go out with friends to this club only until 12, but I went to a club. So, and I started hanging out with friends, and as you do. And after clubbing, well, in the weekend on a Sunday, everybody would still, meet at a friend's place. And this friend was a DJ, and he was DJing at home. So we were all like on sitting in on his bed or in a couch, and he was DJing. And at one point, so this is before cell phones, one point he gets a telephone call, and his mom comes up to his room like, you have a telephone call. So he has to leave the room and go to the phone. And the song was over and he was gone. So I'm like, I'll put a record on, so I put a record on, and I'm like, okay, how does he do this? And I'm like, and I actually find the beat. It wasn't, well, you're a musician, so you know what I mean if I say that one beat wasn't on the one. There was it was on a 2 or a 3 or something. It wasn't completely correct, but the beat was on the beat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I could do this. And I mixed these two records. This is like completely beginner's luck. Okay. I had no idea what I was doing, but I did it. And it started, I started thinking, I'm like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And I went to the record store where I used to hang out anyway to buy CDs. And I started to look through records, and I started to buy records. And I asked for Christmas, to get like a DJ deck and stuff. And I also did summer jobs. So the money that I had earned that summer, I put into that as well. And so, yeah, by the end of that year, I was DJing at home. And then a couple of months later, on my 17th birthday, I was out at a club actually very near my house. And I was bragging about it to the bouncer. I'm like, yeah, and I DJ and this and that and da-da-da. And it turns out that the bouncer was actually owner of the club. And he let me do a test set for an hour the next week before the club was even open. So like from 9 to 10. And he liked it. So I started doing the warm-ups there for a while after that. Yeah. And then a few months in, I had a chat with the owner of another club where I used to go a lot before, I started DJing at this one club. And he also gave me the opportunity to do a test. And he also gave me a 2-year residency at that club. And it was called Fauna. And this was 97. And that's where my DJ career really started.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But like, so you do vinyl DJing.
Yes.
And I always heard that kind of damages records. Is that like a myth, or is that just certain techniques, or because you don't want to kind of have a record you love and maybe can't get anymore and then damage it?
Yeah, that is the risk of DJing. If I was a collector of records, I wouldn't play the collection records. Mm-hmm. And with DJing, it's different because you play records that are new. So music that's coming out right now, is printed on a record. And as a DJ, at the start, I didn't do that. But then a couple of years in, you learn that if you really like a song and you play it a lot, you buy 2 copies. So, or, afterwards, if it's like a really great song and sometimes the record is hard to find and it costs a lot, but you still like go to places or go online and try to find it anyway because you need a new copy of it. So it does happen. And yes, you do damage the record because of the scratching. Obviously, we use different needles than a normal just listener's needle, which is a one-way needle. If you scratch with that, so if you put your hands on your record and pull backwards, you will hear the song in reverse. And that's called scratching. But if you do it with a one-way needle, the needle has a certain shape and it doesn't go backwards, so it will skip and it will damage your record as well.
Right.
What I have is I have a cone-shaped needle, so it's the same shape in every direction. Mm-hmm. So when I scratch, it will seamlessly go through the groove both ways.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah. But if you do it a lot, like the first beat of your record, where you stop your record on and you're like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you throw your record in, you scratch that part a lot. You scratch because you turn back and you scratch that and you're like, oh, and here we go. And you can hear over the years, you can hear that first bass or that first clap go much more. So it loses because you kind of scratch it out every time a little bit with the needle. So yes, you do damage records. Obviously, there's also the damage that you can do with the oil in your skin on your fingers. But I try to limit that because I only touch my records on the very, very side. You have DJs and I like, when I see them do that, I'm like, oh, don't do that. They put their hands in the middle of the record, like on the other song. And I'm like, why? Don't do that. Don't. So I really use the side. If you watch my videos, you can really see that. And also to turn back, I only use the middle. So just the side outside of the label, the round label in the middle. Mm-hmm. So I really try not to touch the grooves with my fingers at all.
Yeah, because you did an ASMR video of cleaning your records lately.
Yes, I did.
I love that. I would say I'm into ASMR, like not chewing food stuff, but like the stuff you were doing, it was like and click and stuff. And I was like, oh, so much ASMR.
Yeah, I had one of my videos like that go viral, like the connecting the gear one on TikTok. Yeah, it was amazing. I just connected gear. I'm like, I told my boyfriend Thomas, I'm like, yes, come and film me connect stuff. Yeah, come closer, click, and I did the whole thing and it went viral. People love watching this stuff. Yeah. And I think it's also like, what is she connecting?
Yes. But it's mostly the clicks. It's mostly the sound. Gotta be honest.
Good to know. Good to know. There you go. So I'm DJing now again. I really missed it. I stopped playing because of the vinyl. I only use vinyl, and I don't play on a CDJ. CDJs are the CD players or USB. You put your USB sticks in or whatever that you can use as well. And it's not because I can't, because I can use those things and I've done it before. It's just not as fun to me as touching the actual record. It's a whole different technique, and it just doesn't do it for me to not be physically touching the medium.
Yeah.
So I kind of did a farewell set in 2015 and concentrated on, Dana Rexx. Writing.
That's not that long ago, though.
No, that's not so long ago. And I used the time to start writing songs, releasing music, pop music, making music videos, doing, touring with my band, doing all these new things that I wanted to learn about. But these past few years, I've been going out with my old pals again to this music, and I just missed it so much. So I still have all my gear, and there was a lot of chatter about the vinyl scene again.
Yes.
So, and the art of it. I think people are getting nostalgic now again. People from my generation are like, oh, in our time, in our youth, and it was so great. And you know how it goes. So I guess the nostalgia from the people who were there, myself included, brings this back to life. So I thought, if I'm going to do a comeback as DJ DemonQueen, it's going to be now or never.
Right. Well, that's interesting that you say you feel like it's the nostalgia and more people who have, lived through that. Because for me, I grew up on cassettes and then CDs, and then MP3. So that's kind of the normal. And I feel like right now there's this trend going on, which is like going back to analog. Going back to, because everybody's really annoyed by streaming services. They're annoyed by the prices. They're annoyed by the ads, even though they're already paying for it to be ad-free. Now they have to pay an extra premium for it to be ad-free, where you're just like, dudes, you're changing the rules all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even have good stuff on here anymore. On music platforms, it's a bit different because they have so much that you always find good things. But but everybody's really annoyed by that. So there is this trend kind of going back to analog stuff, and that goes through how you consume stuff. So people are buying DVDs again. People are buying records. Yeah, people are buying CDs. People are crocheting. People, they're doing all these things.
What is up with the crocheting?
I think, well, I started knitting again. I crochet a little bit, but not like much. And I started knitting again, which I did the last time when I was 12, right?
Yeah.
Because I find it gets me off my phone. It's like a repetitive thing that I can do, that I have something that I made. And it just, it calms down my nervous system so much. I feel so much calmer when I've been crocheting, even if I'm watching something, even if I'm, say, watching a show that I've seen like 1,000 times or whatever. It calms me down. And I feel like with analog, I say analog because it's not digital. There's more steps to it. Like you said, with touching the vinyl, because I actually have a vinyl player now. And I have like 5 or 6 vinyl discs. Yeah, mini collection.
Records, you say records.
Records, okay, yeah. I don't even know that. And I just love putting them on because it's the experience of putting them on, and then and it's like a CD. It's finished at some point. It just doesn't just keep going. It's there's an end to it, and then you have to go and see, oh, do I change it? Do I do the other side? Do I put on something else, or do I turn it off? So there's more occasion for decision making, I feel. And so there is this whole trend now of going analog, and I think that's also part of why vinyl is coming back in, because there's also something you own.
Yeah.
And so I'm interested to see, like, now that you're starting again, how is the scene that you are now finding your way back into? Like, how has it changed? What's going on there? Does it feel the same? Is it similar people? Is it completely different people? Is it just more varied, so you have to find your people? Or, what's going on? Because I have no idea about the DJing scene at all.
Well, getting back into it now, I am confronted with the social media game again. Before, in the 90s, that didn't exist. So what did I do? Well, I played at a club. I was a resident at a club. Nowadays, there's not a lot of clubs left because it's all about festivals, this and that. So
Yeah.
it's like a one-time event in the year or a couple of events that are organized by a promoter, let's say. But it's not like, oh, there's a club every week where they play hardcore, where you
Yeah.
can go and hang out or, see if you can maybe DJ. That doesn't exist anymore. So now I have to be, as DJ DemonQueen, I never had social media. Now I have to do the social media game. So I find myself again, like struggling, wading through the social media sea.
Yeah.
But I find it easier to overcome than with Dana Rexx socials. And I'm not sure why. Maybe I just know what I'm doing as a DJ because I got into it when I was so young and I've lived through it without social media. I know what my goal is. My goal is to just do great mixes. If somebody books me, I go to their party and I would do a good mix with songs that are a song choice, I would say, that is unique to me. And that's why people booked me before, because of the, I don't play like everybody else. Also, back then, it was rare to have a female DJ. So at one point also, I kind of had to fight a lot more because I was a woman. But on the other hand, it was a novelty as well. And the people, because you asked, there was a lot in that one question. So the
Yes,
people
sorry.
are the same. That's fine.
Yeah.
The people are the same. So it's still literally the same people that were 16 when I was 16 and 17, and we grew up together in that club. And they're still listening to this music, but now their kids are also listening to that music. Yeah, and there's a lot of kids coming into that and like, oh my God, and they're also kind of showing off and being very proud that their parents listen to hardcore. So we have this group name. If you listen to hardcore music, you're a Gabber. And so they're posting these TikToks with little home movies of their parents when they were going to like these big Thunderdome raves in the 90s. Like, oh, look at my parents being a Gabber in the 90s, And I think it's this nostalgia thing that Gen Z basically also brings back, because they're also, very, I don't want to say jealous of the 90s, but they look back to the 90s of like, oh my God, this was like an era. And I think they get it from their parents, because we're all like, oh my God, that was the time, But it's not only the time when we had our best teenage years, if I can say it that way. It's also, I think, a shift in the universe. So the 90s is a shift. It was really a shift to digital as well. It was the origin of internet, I think the 90s is a time when a lot changed very fast. Yes, in the 70s and the 80s as well. But I think internet is a big one, because we're all on that. And if you're thinking, oh, the internet, you immediately think back to the 90s and all of this stuff going on. And it's not only Gabbers that are looking back towards that time. I feel that TikTok is full of people looking back at this specific era.
Well, I think that's really interesting. I'm not obviously in that bubble. We've talked about this before, where I get videos suggested obviously by the algorithm that are completely different, you've never heard about, and I'm like, oh, everybody's talking about this, and you're like,
Yeah.
I have never heard that before in my life. And so that's kind of the same now. I know of kind of this analog revolution, or whatever you want to call it, or revival. But I've never heard the term gabber before. I don't listen to hardcore, so why would I?
Mm.
Um, but the kind of the picture you painted of people saying that era was the time. I feel that's very reminiscent, because every kind of generation does that. Every generation says, "Oh, my childhood, when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, that was the time to be alive. Everything was so
Yeah.
great. Everything was, you could do all these things that you can't do nowadays, and you could experience all these things, and everybody was so nice and so open and so kind." And then I think about that, and I'm like, I'm sure it was, and I'm sure it was fantastic. But I feel like that also has something to do with how you were as a person, not you specifically, but the person reviving this was as a person back then. And maybe they were just a little bit more open and a little bit more adventuresome and a little bit more, wanted to do things, and had the same age group of people kind of also doing those things.
Oh,
Um,
definitely. I think it's every generation has this for themselves,
mm,
because you kind of, say, in my time, things were better, and I heard my grandparents say that as well. I've heard my parents say that as well. And now I'm saying that as well. And I
yeah.
think it's because in your life, you're at one point where, well, in that time, you were still dreaming, and you were still, you didn't know what life was going to bring, and this and that. And now, and it's hard to say this for me, but I am at a point where, I've lived through enough years to have learned so much, and to know where I am in my life now, and what I want, and to reflect upon certain eras again
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
life. And yes, it was a time when you were a dreamer. I'm still a dreamer, and I still have so many things I want to achieve. That hasn't changed. But yes, I have a house now, and I have a boyfriend that I've had for, I don't know, 15 years that we've been together or something. And when you're 15, you just can't have had that already.
Yeah.
I think that's the point where, as an adult, you kind of reflect on, oh, wow, I've been through this whirlwind roller coaster of things. And now I'm at this point where I can look back and have a moment and say, oh God, I kind of miss those days, because they were problem free, maybe.
Yeah, but also, as you were just saying, is like maybe the first time you had time to kind of sit back and reflect properly, and have the time now to restart that. You're like, oh, I have a breathing space,
Mm.
and now I know what I'm going to do, and I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah, I think it's like that for a lot of people. First, you're together with someone, and oh, everything's great, this and that. Then, some people get married or buy a house, and then it's, you have to work because you have in this house, and then the
Yeah.
money needs to come in, and then we have kids, and then the kids, and the kids are small, and they have hobbies, and you drive to the hobbies, and the school run, and you're like on autopilot maybe a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and then you come out of that. Because also I'm now, oh my God, I'm 46, and I'm scared to even say it, because I'm scared to even acknowledge it, and it gets me very emotional.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I think, and we've had this episode with Nane, where
Yes.
she's like, oh, I'm 50 now, and I look up to her so much, like I felt like a giddy kid when I was talking to her, really, because I'm getting emotional now.
No.
because she's not old,
No.
it's not like, oh, 50 is the end of your life. No, she has so many things that she still wants to do and that she will actually still do.
Yeah.
But still, when I say to myself, I'm like 46, I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? I feel like I haven't achieved anything. Still, when you look back, I have done so many things and I've achieved so many things. And it's that stupid imposter syndrome that still gets you like, but have I though? But yes, it was me. I got a fucking residency in a club when I was only 17.
Yeah.
And I played there for 2 years under contract. And well, how famous was I, It was weird because I played in New York. I played in Holland and Germany and Italy and all these places. And it's like it was a different person when I look back now, but no, it's me. And I have to embrace that and be proud of that. And that's why I said Nane, because she is just so proud and established, Oh God, I love that. So I need to do that too and not hide myself away. Not that I tried to do that, but I just, sometimes I still feel like an imposter.
Do you think that it has something to do with that as artists we create our artist name and our artist persona? Do you think that maybe kind of, because I don't know who I heard talk about this recently, but there is obviously, I think, yes, it was Miley Cyrus. She was talking about her time as Hannah Montana and how she was looking back on it now and thinking, that was such a horrible example to set to people because as Miley, she had zits and she had whatever and she couldn't get the guys. And as Hannah, she had this glamorous lifestyle and did all the shows and got all the guys and that for a long time, she herself, outside of that show, put on a persona because she thought she had to be kind of that person to live that life. And I think as artists, like obviously you have Dana Rexx and you have DJ DemonQueen, and we see them as separate entities, even though it's just us. It's just facets of us. And so like the achievements that you have had through these personas, they are yours. But through seeing them so separately, maybe that kind of creates a distance and kind of a disparity of thought, like a disconnect.
That's very interesting that you say it that way, because with what I did with Dana Rexx was I basically channeled DJ DemonQueen, but into like a pop version of her. But DJ DemonQueen is so me, and Dana Rexx is also me. It's just with Dana Rexx, I really sat down and thought, how am I going to visually show this to people, and how am I gonna do that? And that's why it became this thing with the war paint and the corsets. So Dana Rexx is like a gothy, dark pop singer, Katy Perry / Lady Gaga kind of thing.
Queen.
Thank you. Thank you. And the thing is, to me, Dana Rexx and DemonQueen are definitely one person. It's all me. And I'm not putting on a mask when I am these people. I'm just amplifying who I am to make a point maybe, or to be more theatrical and to be more obvious about it so that people can take something away from it. And for me, that's indeed like, not to fear yourself, not just accept who you are and flaunt it, because it's who you are. So stop hiding. And then you have this step that you take, like with the pink hair and everything. Now I'm really gonna show people, because I do want them to notice that I'm different. How do I do that? Well, just by being different, with the pink hair and with the outfits and then you have people saying, "Oh, but it's too much." Why do you do that? But it's really a good question, because I can't answer that. I don't know why. Well, it's me. I want to show off that I feel how I feel different inside. But I think everybody has this, really. Everybody's a little bit weird.
I feel like sometimes I do, but like right now my appearance is more like I don't know, business, whatever. I don't know. I still love the color purple. Well, lilac really, or
Well,
lavender.
yes,
But
well, you're in
I am.
lilac.
Yes, yes, got to show it off. Um, but I have a couple of moments where sometimes people are like really surprised by something I've done. They're like, oh, I wouldn't have thought you would have done that. It's not like I wouldn't have thought you would have done that. It's I wouldn't have thought you would have done that.
Well, I think we all have our eras. You are now, you're becoming an architect.
Yeah.
You're working now in a different world than you were before. And I have also had this corporate moment where
Hmm.
I didn't have pink hair because I wouldn't have been hired.
Yeah.
You know? So, and it's just after a while that, you're in this world and you work, and then all of a sudden you think, after 10 years of working, you're like, would it really be so bad if my hair was pink now? Would they fire me for that? And then you go to your boss and you have a chat and you say, would that really be the worst thing? And in the meantime, it's no longer 2002.
Yeah.
It's 2012, and maybe they're more open to it. So, it just, you have to go. It's not like you're hiding yourself per se. You do have to be emotionally intelligent and go with the times. And you can act out and say, no, I want to be this person, and if they don't want to hire me, well, fuck them. But then maybe you don't have a job. So, you have to...
Yeah, maybe you miss out.
Yeah, you have to kind of see what is important for me in this moment. I really want this job because I want to get paid, because I want all this other stuff, and I want a life, and I want to go away from my parents' house. I want my own place. And so that's the I think choices that everybody needs to make. And is that lying to yourself? No, I don't think so. Is that hiding yourself? Maybe a little bit, but you yourself is going to come back around later anyway, so it's fine.
And it's
fine.
not like I'm still talking about me specifically. It's not like I'm not still me. Like,
No.
people who talked, I still act the exact same.
Yeah. Oh,
It's,
yeah.
it's just the visual representation of stuff. But I remember talking to you a couple of years ago when you were, I think you were doing corporate for like 1 or 2 days a week or something.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I don't really like business clothes, and I feel like a penguin dressed up in a suit, and blah blah blah. And you were like, no, I just like to have fun with it. I have like a hot pink suit, and I wear high heels, and I wear this, and I have like a locker at my work, and I change stuff there, and it's amazing. And I was like, yeah, I'm never going to be that way. And now I'm like, no, I love it. I get to wear this.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's just, you have to live it, and have fun with it.
It's just crazy. It is. It's also not being afraid to like something new about yourself. I think that's also a big part of it, because you feel like, I felt like I was kind of giving up on my artistic life, giving up on a part of myself. But that's just not the case. You're just
No.
seeing something new and finding something new, and it's just adding. It's not subtracting, it's not replacing, it's adding.
Yes, I love how you say it that way. Quote! I love that. Yeah, I think so too. And what did strike me when I look around me now, if we go back into DJing, at my peers, there's a lot more female DJs out there. But there's a lot of scarce clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're obviously, there's social media now, and their follower numbers are high. But then the question pops up in my mind, like, should I leverage that too? Should I show a bit more skin? Should I get more followers faster? But then again, that's not what this is about for me. It's about the music. But then, you go into all of these spiraling questions like, are women feeling obliged to do this to get attention because of the patriarchy? Or are they using it as their strength and they're going to look at me sexually anyway? They're going to sexualize me anyway. Why not use it to my advantage, get the followers, get the bookings, and actually get somewhere? I'm not going to do that because in the 90s, I didn't do that either. Well, I
It
did.
didn't matter.
Well, I wore crop tops because it was the 90s and because, well, I was fucking 17, so I could wear a crop top. Is that why I got the residency? No, I got the residency because my mixes were good and my record choice was good. And I got all the other bookings because of that, because I never thought to myself back then, oh, I need to wear a bikini while I'm DJing or something. I never did that. So it's not because of that I got those bookings.
Yeah.
I think. I hope.
No, I don't. I mean, I wasn't there, but I think not.
I don't think so.
I feel like nowadays so many people, especially artists, are slaves to the algorithm. I said it that way for a reason, because you can be as good as you want to. It's still going to be like a very little chance, like a very small chance that you will get seen by a large amount of people. And the algorithm pushes things that they think or it thinks will perform well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think it goes both ways. Male and female skin does quite well. I feel like female nakedness, or like not fully nakedness,
Not if it's out of
perform a little
policy,
bit
but
better. Exactly. No nipples.
no nipples.
See our episode.
Watch
on
out
that
for the
one.
nipples.
Yeah. But I feel like that kind of does really well, and so they just push it even further, because that's what algorithms do, right? They see, oh, what is kind of getting more likes organically, and then they push that out to everybody and that type of content. And so artists obviously know this. And we were talking about, do I want this job or do I want to be myself? I need the money, etc. That's the same question. Do I want to do this way? Do I want to show this much of myself, or do I not? And then, well, I need the money, so I will.
Yeah. Yeah, but in hardcore it's a special thing, because you could also say, is it dangerous, to be this DJ that, is scarcely dressed, and then you go to a booking and then you're groped and everything, and it's all about the sex. In hardcore it really isn't. I would say no, because it's a very safe environment. I mean, regarding the people, and, fans don't grope you or talk about your body parts in hardcore. It's a little bit like what you have in metal, rock concerts. Like it's like a family. It's a very safe place, and people look out for each other. And there's no groping. There's no, dare I say, there's no raping. There's no this and that. People don't do that. They don't roofie you, or it's a very safe environment, and it's sometimes it's weird for people to understand that. But so I've been to hardcore because it's such an extreme kind of music. I've been to hardcore parties. Well, when I was a teenager, I went to hardcore parties, and people were like, "Oh my god, hardcore!" And all the drug use must be enormous. The drug use isn't more than, well, it's less than it would be at like a more commercial kind of trancey techno-y thing. I mean, look at Tomorrowland. The first time I went to Tomorrowland was I went once with my boyfriend because he liked to listen to that music, but I had never been before, and I didn't like it there. Not because there wasn't any hardcore that was playing. It's just the people weren't as nice, and when we were going from one stage to another, people were using their elbows and pushing and, not being nice. I had never experienced that because in hardcore, you don't do that. If somebody would by accident step on your toes while they're passing you in at a hardcore party, they would literally be there half an hour trying to apologize to you, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, are you okay? Da, da, da. We all dance this extreme hacke dance, but everybody has their little space doing it. They don't touch each other or push each other or do that kind of stuff. It's a very, very safe place. There's hardly any fights, And people just don't understand that when they see Gabbers. They look very aggressive, and I think it's a front as well that we use to just keep people away. And it is a collection of a lot of people who have had problems at home or, stuff, just shit things that have happened to them that have found their way to this big family who actually protects them. And so that's why we're so nice to each other. So will this female DJ who is scarcely dressed, be groped and stuff? No, absolutely not. Will there be a lot of Gabbers watching on social media? Yes, of course there will be, So I don't know. Is it taking your power back? Is it using sex for gain? It's there anyway. You can't change that. Versus if we stop playing the game, will it then ever change?
I was gonna say, if you you said, oh, it's there already, and if we don't use it, are we kind of losing an opportunity? But also, I can't even put it into words. I think you said it best. Will it ever change if we never stop playing the game?
Yeah, I just feel like social media magnifies this problem. And there's a quote by Lady Gaga that I wanted to use. She explained that she began taking her clothes off during performances early in her career when audiences at New York dive bars and nightclubs, I think it was a dive bar called The Bitter End, they wouldn't pay attention to her music. They were talking, they were doing other stuff, and she's like, hey, I'm singing here and playing this fucking piano. Can you fucking listen to my music? So she says, I quote, I took my clothes off. It was the first time playing my new glam-inspired music and nobody would be quiet. Something just came over me and I took my clothes off. And then men stopped talking and started looking at her and paying attention to her. Obviously, you could say for the wrong reasons, but not, because look at what she achieved because of it. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a really kind of difficult topic to form an opinion on, I feel, because yes, she has achieved great things, and where would we be without Gaga? I mean, come on.
I think Dana Rexx wouldn't exist without Gaga, because it was her really who showed me that and she's 6 years younger than I am. And when she came up, she's because she's from 86. And when she came up, I'm like, why didn't I think of this? Why didn't I think of the hair and the theatricality and she helped me a lot by accepting myself as well and putting myself out there.
And she also, I mean, not to say she's mellowed down, but I think she's more, she doesn't have to kind of caricature herself as much anymore because she's made it. She's there.
Yeah.
People are paying attention and she speaks out for other people. So I think I just really, really hate that the thing that brought her there was taking her clothes off. Not her. I hate that is how it happened.
Yeah.
Because I just really dislike that as a system.
Well, that's a system we're in, so I think she used it to her advantage.
Yeah. No, well, she did it well, yeah.
And I mean, it's I think it's not about telling the others off. It's about finding the balance for what works for me. And for me, it's about the music. So will I be doing a live stream? So I live stream mixes every week now. Will I do a live stream or do a club set wearing simpy clothing? I might, in the summer, if it's bloody hot, I might not wear as much. But it's not how that's not how I want to brand myself, because then you have to keep it up. And, and, and to be honest, that's just tiring. I wouldn't do that, And so people following me are definitely not asking me to get undressed. So it's not that they're waiting for that to happen. So I'm just, people are just taking an interest because of my craft. And that's exactly how I want it to be. And that's exactly how it was when I was 17 as well. They were interested and they booked me because I mix well. And maybe in a different way than others. So I set myself apart because of that. I also sing while I mix, actually.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I do these, not all the time, but I do these mashup vocals kind of thing. So where there might be a hardcore track, kind of like a remix of a pop thing. Sometimes we have a song like a dream, no end and no beginning. So the Madonna song that was poured into a hardcore tune, and it's a really great tune. But sometimes I just use a record with only bass on it, and then I sing it myself, and people are surprised because, oh, that's that tune, but that's not the bass that usually goes with that song. Oh, but she's singing it herself. Oh my god. And if I have a little more time, because obviously a record is only so long, and that's where you can cheat in the digital world, and you could just say, okay, I want these many bars on repeat, but you can't do that with a record. So if I have a long record, I can actually go stand in the middle of the dance floor with the mic and do it live in the middle of the people dancing, and they're always amazed.
That's
and
really cool.
Yeah, I used to do that back in the day in the Nillies. I used to do that, and they loved it. So I'm bringing that back, definitely. Yeah.
So how's things going? How are you? And what's your plan for DJ DemonQueen then now?
Oh, well, I'm growing the social media because I can't not nowadays. So yeah, I have to do that. But yes, I want to get into producing again because I used to produce. I have a couple of records out. So I think my first record was from 2001. So it's actually physical vinyl records that I have of, that we put out. So again, another achievement that I keep forgetting that I have.
You need to write them down.
I do. And so, what I do now is live stream every week, and then the videos go up on YouTube. People are watching them. They're enjoying them. They're commenting. They're really liking the stuff, and new people. So there's all my old fans who are like, oh my God, you're back. That's great.
Yeah.
And then there's new fans that are saying, oh my God, how did I not know who you were back then? Also, because I was already out there listening to hardcore and I didn't know you. Shame on me. And so I love that reaction. It's really kind. And it's fun. Yeah, it's fun to share this passion that I still have with people. And a lot of records are being re-released now, being repressed. So that's really great. So I am going to go to a record store. They still have physical record stores.
Yes,
so I'm gonna
they do, yeah.
I'm gonna go there soon because I used to work at one actually when I was 17, 18, 19. I worked there for I think I worked there for four or 5 years or something. Yeah. As a student job, back in the day. So that's also how I kind of got into that. And so I'm going to go to one and buy some new records. And I'm going to go to this a platenbeurs, so a record fair.
Yeah.
And see if I can maybe find some old ones that are in there. When I say old ones, I mean from the 90s and the nillies.
Oh, the record stores also have old ones.
Yeah, but I don't mean like the Beatles. I mean hardcore records for me to play.
Yeah, obviously you'd need to find the right record store. But
Yes.
I have been to a couple here in Hamburg now, and they do have like a very wide variety of things.
Yeah.
But
We even have specialized hardcore ones.
Well, I haven't looked, so I wouldn't know.
I don't know in Hamburg, but yeah,
Yeah.
in Breda in Holland, there's a big one called Unit, I think it is, and so I would love to go there one of these weekends. And yeah, there's a big record fair in Antwerp tomorrow, actually. So I'm going tomorrow and seeing if I
Nice.
can find some hardcore records because it'll probably be a lot of rock and pop.
Mm.
Maybe there's some house and EDM and stuff, and maybe I can find some hardcore records. So that's my challenge for tomorrow.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I need a
Cool.
cassette deck as well because I don't have one anymore, and people are interested in cassettes. And I have my cassettes. I have a cassette deck, one cassette deck that I can listen to my cassettes on. But I need to make merch, so I need to record my old cassettes onto new cassettes, and I need a double cassette player for that.
That makes no sense to me because that was gibberish. What do
Really?
you mean record one cassette onto a new cassette? What's on the cassette? What's happening here?
A mix that I did in 2002. Wait, here, I have it.
Okay.
I have it here.
So you have like a mix on cassette,
Yes.
and you want to give that out to people as well.
Yes, exactly. So
Okay.
I need to duplicate this.
That is very retro and very cool.
So I need a double cassette deck because then you can play it on the one and record it on the other.
How long are the sets? Because you stand up for a lot of it, don't you? It's more like standing on one spot, or is it like dancing on one spot? Does that like not hurt your feet?
Oh no,
Okay,
you're
it's
you're
just-
totally in the moment. No, you're totally in the moment. It's like when you're dancing at a club and it's like, oh my God, and it's so good. And or can you imagine? You're like at a lounge thing and you're talking to your friends and it's so great and animated and you're having a drink and you don't really feel tired until when it's over.
Right. Okay.
So
Well, that's good.
yeah. No, DJing is fine. And I don't feel like now that I'm so much older now I'm doing it, I don't feel like, oh my God, my feet hurt more now or something. Also, DJing is not in heels. It's like, it's in my sneakers. It's in my Nikes.
Yeah.
So it's very comfortable. And yeah, I'm moving a lot. Well, I'm not moving that much because it's a record, so I still have to hold it. And if you're like bouncing up and down, you're hurting your record and the needle will skip if you're trying to find the beat or whatever. So, well, people can watch. You know, I'll put links in the show notes and see how much I move. But yeah, when there's a good song playing, I'm like, yeah! Hands up, hands in the air like you just don't care. And so the reason why I do vinyl only, because I love it so much. And yeah, it's just with the digital DJing thing, there's a sync button and there's a lot of DJs using that sync button nowadays. I saw a TikTok the other day where a DJ had the calculator open on their phone behind the deck.
Okay.
Because the CDJs detect how fast the song is going. So they detect the BPM of your beat. But when you mix music like trap or drum and bass or jungle, the CDJ detects the double. So it thinks the beat is going double as fast.
Right.
So if your left song is on like 83 beats per minute, and the other one is calculated at you need to just divide it and make sure that you type in the correct tempo amount for the other one, or you have to double it so that it makes sense for the machine to do that. But that means you're literally saying how much BPM it should be. So you're not beat finding yourself. You're just basically syncing them digitally. So you're not actually DJing, are you? You're just telling a program how to DJ for you.
But how do you do that with vinyl though? Because
You don't.
No,
You use your
don't.
ears.
Yes, but like you use your ears, but do you already know which song is coming on next? Like, do you like plan that in advance, and do you know what BPM they are, or
No.
do you like
I
play
have
them
no idea the
slower, or
BPM.
do just match so that they go in on the same beat? Now I
Yes.
have a lot of questions.
You see? So what happens is I have a pitch on my record player. I have a pitch. So I can put records faster and slower. And in hardcore, it's even faster because you can actually open up. It's called a Technics player. Technics is the brand, and you open it up. It's an MK2 model, and there's a little wheel inside that you can pitch up so that the pitch that you had goes from 0 to 8. Actually, will go from 0 to 16 instead. So, or even like 12 or 16. It depends on how much you crank it up. So I can make a record go very, very, very fast. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, it still needs to make sense in the beat. If it's like and that's not how the song was designed. It's too fast. But I can crank it up, and that's how you find the beat. Also, so it depends how the record was printed, that you use a 33 or the 45, and then you pitch it up, and
that switch.
You find, yes, exactly. You have the switch too. So you find the beat. So what I do is you put the record on. One record is already playing. Okay, one record is playing. Obviously, I know the songs. I know which record is which song, and I know how fast the song naturally is meant to be.
Yeah.
So I know, okay, like I would never put an old school song into a speedcore mix because it's just, the difference is too much. It wouldn't be pretty. You would fuck up your old school song because it would never fit in a speedcore mix. You have in hardcore, you have different styles. You have speedcore, you have terror, you have darkcore, you have industrial, you have old school, you have millennium, you have early rave. There's a lot of different styles. What I would do is, obviously in your head, you know all these songs, and so you're like, okay, you're mixing a song, and you finish your mix, and then you're like, okay, what's next? Oh yeah, this song would be great on that. So you go into your records and you look for that one that you have in your head, and you put it on. You can prepare kind of a set beforehand and say, okay, after this song, I really love that one, so I'm going to play that one, and you can practice it a little bit. That's totally fine, and that is what happens. I do practice my sets sometimes and say, okay, here, if I launch it in this moment of that song, that's a really great mix. Let me try and replicate that. But sometimes your record skips while you're launching it in, and you have to restart. So the mix that you wanted to do is not possible anymore. So you have to figure something else out. So that does happen, and that's something that you can avoid mixing when you mix digitally. But where's the fun in that? So what I do, that I put my one record on. So one is playing. I put the other one on. I find beat number 1, and then I wait.
How?
You listen like this. You put
so you have it on your headphones.
Yes.
But the others can't hear it yet.
Yes. So the record that's playing is only playing in the room, not in your headphones. The new one is only in your headphones. You put the needle on the record. You find where it starts, and then you wait until the other record that's playing in the room is on the 1. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then on the 1, whoop, you launch that, and then you see, oh, is it too fast, too slow? And then you start pitching it or down, pitching it up, pitching it down. And you use your hand to, if it needs to go faster, you use your hand to make the rim of your record player go faster and just catch up to what's playing in the room, or you use your finger to slow down the rim, to catch up also to what is playing in the room. Well, catch down, how do you say that? To slow down.
No idea.
To slow down to what you're playing in the room. And that's how you find the perfect pitch, where the pitch needs to be. Then you take the needle off your record again, you put it back at the start, you find your beat again. I will also do a second run to check if the pitch is where it should be, to make sure that I did it right. In the meantime, the other song is going, so the end is
The
nearing.
time is running
okay,
out. Yeah.
yes. But then you start over and you're like, okay, this is a, you know your songs, so you know a break is coming here or whatever. Hardcore is a music where there's a lot of breaks. So there's a lot of, oh, the bass is stopping here and there's a voice. Oh, it's restarting, or oh, there's a clap. Up, and it's restarting again. And that's the fun that I have with hardcore, is that I can do cuts a lot. So it's not like trance where you mix them both at the same time and then they're going for a long time at the same time and then you fade out the one. I do cuts all the time, like boom, boom, bum, boom, boom, bum, and oh, there's a little voice, bum, 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 you know? So that's what you'll see me do. And a lot of people find that very entertaining, and that's what I love to do. If you're a hardcore DJ and you're not doing cuts, what are you doing? You know? What are you doing? So that's how I mix. And then hopefully the song is in the right BPM as the other one. You always, with record players, it's not an exact science, so it might be a bit wobbly and you need to like, oh, this one, you know, is a little bit, it needs to go a little faster, and you're constantly adjusting and switching from the left one to the right one. So I'm always very dynamic. You can't just stand in one place. You have to be touching this record and then you have to switch in your headphones to hear the one that's actually going out. And you're like, oh, okay, now I can fiddle with that one, and stuff like that. So yeah, you can check that out. Have you seen one of my mixes yet?
I have seen blips of them.
Oh yeah, on the socials.
Yes. So I am not a hardcore person. So I'm always like, I look and I'm like, ooh, she looks like she's having a lot of fun. And then I'm like, okay, too much music for me.
Well, what I post is like only one mix, so you can actually see the moment that I launch the song.
I'll have to have a look at it, yeah.
And then you can hear when I do the switching on the mixer. You can hear, that's that song has the voice and that song has the bass, and then you know, so listen less to the overall and just listen to the cuts maybe, and I think you'll enjoy just the technique.
Yeah, I definitely will.
I'm having so much fun doing this again, and I missed it so much. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for tuning into Unboxing Women. If you have gossip to share, send us an email on hello@unboxingwomen.com, send a DM or tag us in your post. Don't forget to give us a like on Instagram and Facebook, or a subscribe on YouTube or wherever you're listening to us. My name is Dana Rexx, and I've been chatting with Micah Rose. Tune into another episode of Unboxing Women next week. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.